Imagine the final leg of an Olympic relay. 4 elite athletes, years of preparation. But when that baton drops to the track, the individual speed of those runners doesn't matter anymore. The race is over. Over the past 2 weeks, we've felt the reality of that dropped baton in our operations. We've seen an increase in callbacks, schedule delays, and internal friction because critical details didn't make it from one person to the next. To fix this, we have to return to the Fry standard. Every team member must take complete accountability for exactly how they pass information. Speed matters, and technical skill matters, but the handoff, that specific moment of transfer, is what determines whether we actually deliver on our promises and keep the customer's trust. A customer journey is a 4-leg relay: marketing and call intake, sales and solutions, install and service, and billing and customer care. Every transition between departments is an exchange zone. Projects rarely fail during the work. They fail during the handoff. What we are handing off is the baton. This baton is the total package of job data: the exact scope of work, pricing agreements, strict timeline commitments, measurements, equipment details, and any special requests from the homeowner. The most common failure at this stage is the assumption trap. We leave out a detail because we assume the next technician or advisor already knows it, or we assume they'll just figure it out when they arrive on site. When we fail to gather and transfer that specific data, the next department receives an incomplete picture. That leads directly to missing parts, schedule delays, and technicians walking blind into unexpected situations. Step 1 of a clean handoff is preparation. Before you even initiate a transfer, you must compile all the physical and digital information related to the job. If you rush the zone without clear notes, photos, or measurements, you are setting the next person up to fail. Initiating a transfer with missing information causes a breakdown before the next leg even starts. Step 2 is checking capacity. You have to evaluate the mental and physical state of the teammate receiving the information before you start talking. If the receiving teammate is overwhelmed, distracted by another task, or if there is emotional friction between the two of you, the baton will drop. Even the most thorough system notes won't compensate for a receiver who isn't ready to process them. You have to actively secure the exchange zone. This means directly asking your teammate for a moment of their undivided attention to ensure they can actually absorb what you're handing over. By preparing your data up front and timing your approach, you protect the integrity of the information, so it survives the jump to the next department. Once you have their attention, you move to step 3, active delivery. A handoff requires a direct, intentional communication event. Simply updating a field in the software and moving on does not count as a transfer. You need to vocalize 3 specific things: what exactly is being done, why it is being done, and out of all those details, what matters the most to the customer. A passive handoff sounds like, the install is set for tomorrow. An active delivery sounds like, we're installing the new unit tomorrow at 8 a.m. because the customer works nights, and the most important thing is that we do not arrive early and wake them up. In our company, the outgoing runner holds complete responsibility for the success of that exchange. It is a blind handoff for the receiver. They rely entirely on you to place the details firmly in their hands. Saying, I put it in the notes, or I told them, is not enough. If the information fails to land and be understood by the receiver, the fault belongs entirely to the person who passed it. The final step is confirmation. The handoff process remains incomplete until the receiver explicitly vocalizes that they have the information. This requires a shift in how you operate. You must retain your responsibility for that job until your teammate actively acknowledges they have taken it from you. A valid confirmation is not a head nod or a quick okay. The receiver needs to repeat back the critical details. They should say, got it. I see the notes, and I understand the customer needs us there strictly at 8 a.m. That specific vocal interaction is the exact moment that complete ownership officially transfers from you to your teammate. Forcing that moment of confirmation eliminates all ambiguity. It guarantees the next runner is fully equipped to execute their leg of the job without guessing. When we execute these handoffs flawlessly, the operational benefits are immediate. We eliminate return trips for missing parts, maintain perfect schedule integrity, and keep our reputation intact. More importantly, This precise standard directly protects the customer. From their very first phone call to the final invoice, they experience one unified, competent team instead of a disconnected series of departments. Apply this standard to the very next job you touch. Prepare the data, secure your teammates' attention, deliver the specifics, and refuse to release your responsibility until you hear vocal confirmation. Professionalism in this company is defined by the mastery of transferring responsibility. Your individual speed only matters if the teammate behind you is prepared to take the lead.